Welcome back, everyone, and it feels so good and so strange at the same time to be saying that. I mean, it's been over, 2 years since I last uploaded a video here on this channel. I just want to quickly thank every single one of you that have stayed patient, that have stayed subscribed, that have kept that hope alive that one day I will return, and that day is right now. And I'm back with some Football Manager 2024 content as Manchester United manager. Quick little disclaimer about this series going forward. I've already started the save. I've already finished the first season. But do not worry, you're not going to miss out on much because I plan for this to be an all-year thing until FM25 comes out. So you haven't, in the grand scheme of things, you haven't missed out on much. In this episode, I'm going to go through the whole season, how we've got on results-wise, and my transfer market dealings, if I've been doing any sort of dealings yet. That isn't really the plan. I don't really want to be dipping into the transfer market as much. I want to be focusing mainly on youth in this year-long save. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's meet the backroom staff that I brought in, kicking off this Manchester United save. So our summer began with a brand new director of football. Matt Crocker comes in after spending time at Southampton and also the England outfit. I decided to keep Steve McLaren as my assistant manager for the foreseeable future. I installed the Dutch duo of Jaap Stam and Robin van Persie, two Manchester United legends, as two of our coaches. Mike Phelan also returns to the club as a coach, as well as his old counterpart in Rene Mullenstein. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who spent time as the Manchester United manager a few years back, is back at the club, but this time as a coach too. And last but not least, I was surprised at this one. Brian Kidd returning to Manchester United. Yes, he spent time at Man City, but before then, he used to work quite closely with Sir Alex back in the days. So it was a good summer when it comes to recruitment for our coaching setup and also director of football heading forwards in this save with Manchester United, making our intentions known. It was like getting the band back together once again with the likes of Mike Phelan, Rene Mullenstein, Brian Kidd, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's fantastic. And I was hoping at the time having this wealth of knowledge, this experience back at the club once again was only going to help us for the season and the next couple of seasons, I should say, for Manchester United. So, how did we get on then this season? Let's find out. As expected, heading into the new season then, the media predicting that Manchester United are going to finish 4th. 11-1 odds to go all the way and even win the league title. I wasn't expecting to do that, not in my first season, not with the current squad that we've got. A lot of work needs to be done. They've got Man City to win it. They've got Liverpool to finish second. It's always going to be between those two with the way things have been over the last 5 to 10 years. Those two just absolute juggernauts in the Premier League at the moment. But as Ten Hag has said, in real life, eras, they come to an end eventually. And that is what we're aiming for. We're going to be knocking the likes of City and Liverpool once again off their perch. Manchester United are going to rise. So just quickly then, without spoiling too much, let's go right to the top. Our pre-season, not the best of pre-seasons. The tactic I'm going for, I'm just going with the basic 4-4-2. I want to try and emulate Sir Alex Ferguson when he started at Manchester United. We started our pre-season away, at home, to Galatasaray, not the start I wanted. Again for the neutrals, 5 goals spread around, but you can see we didn't have our full starting 11 here. The likes of Hugo, Forson, Hannibal all starting this game, and we did come up short. Ziyech in the 87th minute scoring the winning goal. Then we travelled to Stockport, just down the road, finished 6-3 to Manchester United. Really happy with this one. Not happy about the goals conceded, but we're getting minutes in for the likes of Onana and Amrabat. You can see Shea Lacey really happy with his performance, his first involvement in this save. He came off the bench in the second half, put in a decent performance and even grabbed himself a goal. Our last pre-season friendly, we travelled to Panathinaikos. We beat them 4-0. You can see some of the first team players returning from their holidays. Anana with a good performance there, keeping a clean sheet. Garnacho as well, raring for the season ahead. Now, we kicked off the new Premier League season away to Bournemouth with a really convincing 3-0 win. 3 goals, 3 points. Happy with that. You can see the formation here, 4-4-2. Garnacho having to start alongside Rashford for the time being whilst Rasmus Højlund is out injured. Let's have a quick look at the goals then. So Rashford makes it 2 there. Bruno Fernandes did start proceedings with a penalty. And you can see Garnacho alongside Rashford there. Beautiful goal into the bottom corner. Up next, it's Spurs. Tottenham in town at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Second game in. Manchester United walking away with all 3 points. Richarlison opening up proceedings in the 5th minute, but I was really happy bringing Anthony Martial on in the second half for him to go on and clench the 3 points for us. You can see Richarlison's goal here if we slow down the highlights just slightly. I wasn't too happy conceding this. Dalot just lacking there at the back, and I thought after the 5th minute gone, Tottenham scoring the first goal, I thought this is it. We're in for an absolute day of it, aren't we? But Shaw with his corner whips it in, falls for Fernandes, and Garnacho finding himself in that little bit of space and hits it first time into the back of the net to make it 1-1. Harry Maguire seeing a lot of first team football as well at the moment. Casemiro to Garnacho. These two, Garnacho, Rashford, with just 2 games gone, I was really impressed with their start to the season. And then you can see, come the second half now, Kulusevski for Spurs just powering his way through our defence. Harry Maguire just couldn't keep up, just couldn't make a challenge. He makes it 2-0, Kulusevski. But you can see here now, Anthony Martial's winning goal, getting Old Trafford buzzing. Garnacho out wide there, and you can see it just falls, luckily for Martial, just to tap it in past the keeper. Our last game of August, we were at Old Trafford again to play Sheffield United. I was really confident going into this game. Why wouldn't you be? 2-0 win there. We dominated possession. Rashford, Sancho, both of our goal scorers. The 4-4-2 formation, seeming as though it's clicking already with this current squad. Rashford's goal there. Beautiful stuff. He had a cracking start to the new season. Garnacho here dropping deep. You can see here Bruno Fernandes with the assist to Jadon Sancho. And he's just in on goal. He makes it look so easy, beating the keeper at his near post. Just going to take a look now at some of the bigger games that we had to play this season. Højlund coming into to his first game for us on the bench against Liverpool, which ended 1-1. I felt we just edged this game. Liverpool opening up the goal scoring through Mo Salah here. Just left completely unmarked inside the box. Something you cannot allow to happen. But we didn't let it bother us too much. We didn't let our heads drop. We kept on fighting until the very end. You can see Luke Shaw here. 74th minute finds Jadon Sancho, and it's in for Rasmus Højlund. His first goal of the season, and it comes against our biggest rivals in Liverpool. Really happy with that. A good, solid point. Now, in the Champions League, we were drawn against Braga, Feyenoord, and also Celtic. You can see some of our results there. We started strong with the 4-0 win, and then 5-1 against Celtic at home. This game against Arsenal in the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, 4th round, ended on penalties. It came to 2-2 in 90 minutes, but you can see, look who scores us the winning pen. All came down to Kobbie Mainoo, grabbing the spotlight, grabbing the back page of the newspapers, pushing us through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. This game in the Premier League as well against Newcastle, really happy with that win. Anthony Martial on the score sheet in the 3rd minute. But you can see, let me just show you, this game against Arsenal in the Premier League finished 1-0 to Manchester. I'm really impressed with the team and how they managed to dig in. You can see Bruno Fernandes got a red card in the 37th minute. We had to go the majority of the game without one of our star players in central midfield, down to 10 men as well. but Mason Mount, former Chelsea man, the Arsenal fans aren't going to enjoy that one, grabbing the winning goal so late on in the 87th minute. There's something I'm seeing a lot, and that I have seen a lot of this season from this team, scoring late winners, and again it's just like emulating the Sir Alex Ferguson era at the club. On the road though, this season it's been poor, especially against the top 5, top 6 teams like Liverpool, Anfield. Put up a fight there, but we did drop all 3 points. Lost to Fulham 1-0 there. Lost to Arsenal away. Oh no, that was at home against City. This game against Brentford, probably my favourite game this season, because you can see we were trailing by 2 goals after 16 minutes at Old Trafford, but Marcus Rashford drew us a goal back, and then Kobbie Mainoo, who started this game, you can see his goal in a minute. Damsgaard with that finish, and you can see Ivan Toney's headed goal, beating Onana, didn't even make any sort of attempt to save the ball. Bit of a poor one to concede, but he is such an aerial threat, Ivan Toney. Here we go, you can see our claw back now. A mistake made there, lets Rashford in on goal, and he just absolutely fires it up into the roof of the net with such venom. He picks up the ball, wanting to get the game restarted as quick as possible, and this is Kobbie Mainoo's goal, probably my favourite goal that I've seen in this match engine so far this season. He just follows it into the ground. Again, so much force, so much venom. You can see how much it means to these players, and then Bruno Fernandes wins us all 3 points from the spot. So from Brentford, if we go to filtered here and we go down to the away games then in the Premier League this season, you can see it's not the best. I mean, we're losing to teams like Fulham, Brentford as well, which was the first time we played them. Luton, a team we should not be losing against. We should be going there, we should be beating them, we should be coming away with all 3 points. So let's see our season then in all 4 competitions that we could be fighting for. We finished 3rd. I'm happy with that. We've qualified for the Champions League next season. We've got a decent budget for the summer, which I will go over in the next episode. I'll probably do like a summer transfer special or something like that. But Burnley, Brighton, Sheffield United all getting relegated. We finished 3rd. I can't argue with that. Put up against the challenge of Liverpool and City, who've been juggernauts the last couple of years, been juggernauts in this save so far. Mo Salah coming away with golden boot, 29 goals, but I've been really impressed with Marcus Rashford's contribution to the team this season. Does it get any better than that for Rashford? 53 starts, 34 goals, starting up front alongside Garnacho at the start of the season, then Rasmus Højlund, who was introduced a bit later on after getting to full fitness after that injury. We did win the Carabao Cup. So happy with this. Beating the likes of Newcastle at St James's, beating Arsenal, to then go all the way to Wembley to play Fulham in the final and beat them 2-0. So comfortable. Really comfortable game. We didn't worry at all. We weren't stressed out at the back. We weren't pressurised really. Not sure. I think Fulham were just happy for the day out. You can see the way we were passing the ball around, passing it with such intent and just so measured. And Rashford there capping off a really good display from the team and coming away with the Carabao Cup. But we won't be having any sort of celebrations for that. It's not really seen as a big trophy, not like the Champions League, not like the FA Cup, but it's a piece of silverware in my first season at the club on this new Football Manager. But the Champions League, not the best. Yes, we got through the group stages, but we got absolutely annihilated in these 2 games. In the quarter-final against Inter Milan at the San Siro, it finished 3-1. They came to Old Trafford, we put more of a fight, but it just wasn't to be. Now, my business in the summer, you've probably seen a couple of the names already, but I did bring in Tony Springett from Norwich for 4.5 million, but he went back on loan to them. Then I bought in Gurissi from Stuttgart, I think that's how you pronounce his name, just on loan until the end of the season. Antonio Silva, now you're wondering, why have you brought in Antonio Silva? Well, where is he? So, In August, we let Victor Lindelof go to Tottenham for 20 million, which could eventually rise to 24.5 million. You can see as well Harry Maguire leaving for Newcastle United for a total of 23.5 million in January, and also the Saudis came knocking for Rafael Varane. So 3 centre backs leaving in the space of a couple of months, and I had to bring in someone, and it was always going to be that lad, Antonio Silva from Benfica for £86 million. Not what I want to be doing in January. You don't really see signings like that in the month of Jan, but I had to do something. I had the majority of the team saying, well, are we going to strengthen our depth at the back? But Grissi, a bit like an Ulrich Larsson signing, a loanee from January for the rest of the season, hasn't really come in and lit the world on fire, but I'm happy with some of his performances. He's come in and he's performed when it matters, if that makes sense. Like 3 starts in the Premier League, 3 goals, and they're goals that you could consider important towards us finishing 3rd in that Champions League spot. Don't think I'll be signing him on a permanent though. Didn't really see that much from him. I did sign Bukovic, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But again, another player like Tony Springett from Norwich. He went back on loan to his club for the rest of the season. We'll see what he's about in pre-season for the second year. The scouts there saying that he's an exciting young prospect who isn't far from being in the first team. So looking at our team overall then, Onana had a really good season. Garnacho though, our best performer, really impressed. 19 years of age. I think he's a bit of a wonder kid anyway on Football Manager, so it was always going to happen. But look at the amount of goals he's managed to bag himself in the Premier League. 35 starts, 9 goals. Happy with that, especially considering his throughout this season he's had to redevelop as a winger and also as a poaching forward. Also, Marcus Rashford has had a good season. Rasmus Højlund, really impressed. What a player he's been for us after recovering from that injury at the start of the season. 26 starts, 14 goals in the Premier League. In the Champions League, 9 starts, 4 goals. Just 21 goals for your first season at Manchester United at the age of 21. You can't argue with that. It's a good start, and he started paying back that big fee that the club's paid for him. Let's have a look at some of our other youngsters now. Kobbie Mainoo, again, hasn't seen that much first team football as much as I wanted him to. Not because it's been down to injury or anything, it just didn't seem the time was right, if you know what I mean. Looking at that though, he's seen 31 games. He started on the bench, come off the bench for 30 odd games or so. It's not too bad. It's a good start, and I think next season, especially with some of the plans I've got going forwards in the transfer window, the likes of Christian Eriksen going to be leaving us, Jadon Sancho probably, Casemiro. I know Bruno Fernandes has got interest from Saudi coming in as well, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of activity in this summer transfer window. Anyway, I am going to round it up there, guys. I'm going to finish the episode here. Hope you've enjoyed this kind of Season 1 recap. It's going to be a lot different going forwards now. I've already played the first season. The next episode, I'll probably do like a summer transfer window special, and then we'll start heading in towards the second season, what pre-season can offer if we change our formation up, that sort of thing. Once again, I want to thank every one of you that have stayed patient, that have stayed subscribed, and that have enjoyed this episode. And of course, if you want to see more, be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But for now, that is it. Thank you all, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching.